Today on Hobby Talk with Wode, we're going to talk about the Emperor's first super soldiers, the Thunder Warriors. Oh!
The Thunder Warriors were the first genetically enhanced super soldiers created by the Emperor of Mankind. He utilized them during the Unification Wars to conquer Holy Terra, crushing the techno-barbarian warlords that threatened his sovereignty. These proto-Astartes were short-lived, subject to cancer and psychosis, but they were extremely effective in battle. Faster, stronger, and more aggressive than the Astartes. Their bloodlust and prowess were more than a match for the foes of the Emperor. Tragically, after their penultimate victory at the Battle of Mount Ararat, the Custodes were dispatched to exterminate them. The Emperor saw no place for these unstable killing machines in his new domain amongst the stars.
Hello everyone and welcome to the first episode of Wode's Hobby Talk. Today I'm going to be talking Thunder Warriors. And the first thing I'm going to be talking about is where you can find these models. I found these models first on the CG Trader website, made by the spectacular sculptor who is the Maker's Cult. They're labeled as the Tempest Legion. I am totally not endorsed by these guys. However, I fully endorse these items as substitutes for Thunder Warriors on the tabletop. So we're going to go over a few of the models that are represented on these websites and then go over how can you incorporate these into your game. Maybe what you're going to do with them. Maybe how you're going to proxy them. It's really up to you. So let's dive straight into it. First group of models off the CG Trader website are the Tempest Legion Mark III troops. I think these make a good proxy for running as intercessors, which would allow you to demonstrate kind of the power of the Thunder Warriors versus the Astartes, since the Thunder Warriors were larger, stronger, and faster than your firstborn Astartes. Fun fact about their armor, which is Mark I Thunder armor, only the torso was powered. The legs had no power. So they had to carry the weight of hundreds and hundreds of pounds of armor into combat with no assistance by leg augmentation. Made them all the scarier the fact that they're so effective in combat and so fast. These models have a lot of personality. I think they represent the Unification War era pretty well, and I could definitely see them trudging across the wasteland and beating down some techno-barbarians for the Emperor. Sticking with the infantry theme here, these are the Tempest Legion Mark III heavy infantry models. These guys are bulky enough where you could proxy them as, say, Gravis troops, if you want to run them as like Eradicators or maybe Aggressors. Also, if you want to run them as Terminators, they have the necessary items in the kit, just Power Fists, assault cannons, close enough to storm bolters to be pretty convincing. So there's a little bit of flexibility with this model set as far as how you'd like to kit them out, how you'd like to run them. Personally, I have some that I've got set up with some additional weapons packs that I've downloaded that I'm running as Eradicators, and some that I'm getting ready to set up as Aggressors. These are the Tempest Legion Heavy Snipers and Signal Master. These models would be a pretty easy proxy with, say, Eliminators. Looks like they're toting some serious firepower with some 50 BMG plus sniper rifles. While their camo cloak game doesn't appear to be near as on point as the Primaris, they still have a certain level of infiltration look to them with the kind of Spec Ops looking goggles on their helmets. And they do have a slightly different variation of the armor, maybe a little bit lighter. Thunder Warriors never struck me as the stealthy type, so maybe not as lore friendly, but to fit in on the tabletop in a game of 40k, these would be a nice addition to add a little bit of that precision long-range firepower to your list. Switching gears, no pun intended, moving to some vehicle units, and also not quite as nicely painted since these are mine. This is the Warbike, Black Knights and Tempest Legion, listed in the CG Trailer website. You could run these guys as either straight up attack bikes. The sidecar does come off, so if you just wanted to run them as a regular bike in a bike squad, or due to the size, and again to represent the power level of the Thunder Warriors versus Firstborn, you could run them as Outriders. or possibly as Invader ATVs. Easy models to assemble, fun to paint. To note, the models that are actually on the bike are also represented in the CG Trader line as infantry as their Mark II troops. The last model I'll go over here is the Tempest Legion and Black Knight's Cadmus Juggernaut. This was probably my favorite model off the website to print and put together and paint. It's also the very first model that I airbrushed. Again, my level of painting isn't up to the level of the folks that got employed to do the stock photos of the website, but just a coked out Chad in a war suit. I proxied these models as Contemptor Dreadnoughts, since they're roughly the same size, they fit on the same size base, and there's lots of options as far as how to kit them out. Before they went to Legends, it was nice to run these with, say, like dual twin link las or plasma. The files themselves actually have a lot of options. You do have close combat options in there. You do have bulkites, heavy bolters, or at least reasonable facsimiles of them, and even some that could be proxied as autocannons. The main colors that I used when I painted the models that I've completed, including the Mark III troops, which I didn't put my own pictures up there, was Eondon Yellow and Flesh Terror's Red through the airbrush, and then of course a nice wash on top of it. Most of the metal bits were picked out with Lead Belcher because it's probably my favorite paint in the GW line. There's quite a few other options on the website if you're looking to do different types of dreadnoughts. They have ones that could proxy as Leviathan dreadnoughts or Redemptor dreadnoughts. You could do them in either the newer configurations of the Brutalis or the Ballistus, or just a straight up old school Redemptor. They have all the options in those kits to either kit them out with dual close combat weapons or dual long range weapons, or obviously a mix of both. If you're interested in running those kind of items in a Thunder Warriors army, that's a good place to start. So, Commissar Stewie and I here just want to say thank you for watching this video. And what's that, Commissar? Oh, okay. Yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please like, maybe consider subscribing to the channel, and leave a comment on why you like the Thunder Warriors, or possibly any kind of options you'd like to see in the future as far as Hobby with Woad. So I'd like to say Wolverines, and until next time.